A special edition of the Weekend Watch here on the ACC Digital Network. I'm Jeff Fischel with ACC greats Riley Skinner and Dorsey Levens. Okay, guys, 5 of the best teams in the country going head-to-head. Let's start with Florida State versus Florida. Dorsey, what are the keys for the Noles?
Keys for Florida State, first and foremost, they're going to have to move the football. Florida's defense is ranked 5th overall in FBS, so they're going to have to come to play. E.J. Manuel's going to have to hit the receivers down the field, make some big plays. Hopefully, Rashawn Green can make some plays in the backfield. Those two-headed monsters in the back, Devontae Freeman, James Wilder Jr., both need to have a big day. On the flip side of that, when Florida is on the field with the football, Florida State's defense has got to keep playing the way they've been playing, lights out all season. Florida's having some quarterback issues right now, so it's going to be important for both of the bookends, Tank Carradine and Bjorn Warner, to get some pressure on whoever's playing quarterback for Florida. Third, special teams is big. Hopefully Rashawn Green can maybe return some big punts for some touchdowns for these guys to stay in the game.
All right, Riley. It's been 2008, the last time Clemson's beaten South Carolina. What are the keys for the Tigers?
Well, I think for Clemson, you look at, what are their strengths, and that's obviously the passing game. I think you rely on your passing game because I think Andre Ellington's going to have a tough time running against that front seven of South Carolina. Big on big, I think South Carolina wins that matchup. So I stay away from the front line. I would try to air it out if I were you with Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins. Go to your skill guys. And on defense for Clemson, without Marcus Lattimore of South Carolina, they're going to want to throw the ball a little bit more in their game plan. I put a lot of pressure on those cornerbacks and safeties for the Clemson Tigers. And like Dorsey said about special teams, when big games, rivalries, games like this, special teams is where a game can be won or lost. Clemson's got to make sure they don't give up any big plays in special teams.
Okay, Dorsey, the rivalry game you know all about, Georgia Tech and Georgia. What's going to happen in that one?
It's going to be tough. I mean, for Georgia Tech, the keys for those guys to win, first and foremost, stay with your bread and butter, which is running the football, which is going to be tough because you're facing Jarvis Jones, one of the toughest linebackers in the country. The key to getting him blocked is to cut block him, which is what the option is all about. Get him on the ground so he's not a factor. Secondly, Georgia Tech has been passing the ball better lately. They're going to have to pass the ball and have a balanced attack to beat this University of Georgia football team. Badly has to come out and continue to throw the football to make some plays for Georgia Tech. And last, defense. Georgia Tech has struggled on defense. We know that there are issues with their defensive coordinator, Al Grove, being fired midway through the football season. Gave up a lot of points the last couple of weeks, so it's going to be tough for these guys. And Georgia has some horses on offense. You look at their quarterback, Aaron Murray, their freshman running back, Todd Gurley, and they have a great receiver in Tavares King. They got some people who can put some points on the board, so either the defense is going to have to make some stops or the offense is going to have to score a lot of points to keep up with Georgia.
Okay, the fourth ACC-SEC matchup, your Demon Deacons taking on Vandy. What's the key for Wake Forest?
Those aren't the top 10 teams you were talking about earlier, though. No, I like this matchup. I think they're two very similar teams, and they've had a good, back-and-forth rivalry. And I think for Wake Forest, I think we talked about big on big in the trenches. I think Wake Forest is going to have a tough time, like Clemson, of running the football against Vanderbilt. I think Tanner Price is going to have to take this game over at the quarterback position, get it to Mike Campanera, get it to Terrence Davis on the outside. But also, Vanderbilt, their bread and butter is running the football, and that's going to be tough because Wake Forest is a little smaller on their front seven. So I think you're going to have a lot of safety help and help from your secondary to stop that run game because that's what they like to get going first and foremost. And hopefully Aaron Rodgers' little brother won't light him up too bad.
What do you think happens in these 4 ACC-SEC matchups? Tweet us at the ACCDN. You can always follow us, what we're doing, at the ACCDN on Twitter. For Riley Skinner and Dorsey Levens, I'm Jeff Fischel. You're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.